Harrison Bader yesterday after he found out he was placed on waivers. It's a business. I get it. Jon Heyman, as we welcome you inside and say good morning to you. Is it so common when a team is out of it, when a player's placed on waivers, that they might not know that, they might find out like that?
Right. Yeah, they don't tell them.
Okay.
That's how they find out. That's typical.
Okay, so he said, what I love about his sound is, what are waivers, right? Gone is the waiver trade deadline that produced some great deals. I remember Justin Verlander, originally to Houston, was during that period. When a player is placed on waivers, now explain this to us and for folks at home, what does that mean?
Well, these are irrevocable waivers. Okay. So they're placed on waivers. Teams can claim them. Then they take the player and the salary. The team that puts the player on waivers cannot bring him back. He's gone. So it's in a little bit of an unusual situation here. We have some teams that spent a lot of money that are completely out of it at this point. These big market teams, the Angels, White Sox, Mets, Yankees, and certainly the Angels putting 6 on, that's unusual, but they can save money. They can save tax, and in the Angels' case, they can get below the luxury threshold. So it's about saving money if you're out of it, and it's a little unusual to see 9 or 10 players that we know who are on waivers.
A lot of us were taken aback. Giolito, Matt Moore, Renfroe, Grichuk, I mean, all placed on waivers. So the team with the worst record that's in contention. So could a team like the Marlins, how many can you, I'm going to. Could they get all of them?
Well, they're not likely to get all of them because you have to make room for them.
But is there a cap?
No, not as far as I know. There's no limit, so they can claim a few. I don't think they're going to claim 9 players because you have to make room.
Roster spots.
You know, frankly, many of these players are not having great years, so you know the impact to the pennant race may not be that great. I do think in most of these cases they're going to be claimed because they are useful players. They aren't paid exceedingly high salaries at this point. I think Carrasco may not be claimed because he's not having his usual year. Clevenger's a little bit iffy because he makes more money than the others, as does Carrasco. But I do think a lot of those Angels players are going to be claimed, and I feel like Bader should be claimed by somebody, an outstanding center fielder. But Giolito has got to be claimed, right?
So a team that claims them takes on a month of their salary. They don't have to give up anything.
The rest of their salary.
The rest of their salary.
The rest of their salary. September. And these guys are free agents after the year. So,
gosh.
Yeah.
It helps so many teams. Which teams will be most active, do you think? Because it ends Thursday, August 31st.
Right. Well, it's like you said, those teams that are in contention. If you're not in contention, you're not taking on salary. So certainly the Marlins could be in there, the Giants, the Cubs, the Diamondbacks. And, you know, potentially some American League teams. There's a big fight in the AL West who's going to win that division, so we shall see there. But those teams have a little bit better record than the National League teams that we're talking about. So I think we're going to see a little bit more activity in the National League with all those teams looking for those wild card spots, and maybe a little bit in the Central. Milwaukee also a possibility of trying to fight off the Cubs. But generally those teams in that area are looking for that wild card spot. Arizona, San Francisco, Cubs, Marlins, those are the likely teams to make the claim.
Could teams pull them back? In other words, could the Yankees say, no, can't have Harrison Bader back?
He's gone.
Once you're placed on waivers.
Irrevocable. Right. Once somebody claims them, the benefit is that you save the remainder of the salary. And I mean, if you're not in the race, you know, it does make sense to save some money, right?
Right. And you have to be on the roster September 1st.
We just didn't expect the Yankees. Right. We didn't expect the Yankees, the Mets, the Angels after what they did.
I thought, what?
Yeah, this is unusual to have 6 players, and I think several of them will be claimed because these are good players. Giolito should be claimed for sure. Matt Moore, good lefty. Renfroe, you would think they'd get claimed. Grichuk. Grichuk's not playing like he usually does, but I think a majority of them are going to get claimed by somebody.
Clarity. I was confused. Jon Heyman, thanks so much. You're going to stick around.